Who is Gavin Mayo?
I am the youngest billionaire in the world right now. I'm just like a sniper with it. I just take 1 or 2 trades a month, huge money, boom, done, out. I haven't lost a trade since March of last year.
What actions do you do in your day-to-day life that increase your chance of success?
It's super easy to make money online. 16-year-old kids on the internet from their room can make $2, $3, $4 million just trading.
How much money were you making from that first business?
To
What's your net worth now, if you want to reveal it?
my net worth is above $1.
Damn.
I'm a hustler. Like, I wake up, I make as much money as I possibly can that day, and that money can then multiply because I understand how to multiply money.
A lot of people now, they spend all their time chasing women. But what's your advice to them? What do you say to them?
Well,
100 ETH in a day.
Yeah. We're already in the hundreds of millions of just me, that the money I can generate and the money that I make.
I know that you are making and have made a good amount of money from... Talk us through that as like a side hustler. You're like one of the biggest people in it.
If cryptocurrency is the future, then you should be all in on. I have everything and no one's gonna get a hold of it. I'm just gonna set the floor to whatever I want. What made me become the best trader in the past year is just playing with big money.
Welcome back to the show, and thank you for returning back to this podcast where we discuss business, self-improvement, and happiness. Guys, today I am joined by a very special guest who I had the chance to meet just last week for the first time. Although
technically we met what, like 2 months ago at soccer?
Yeah, football. We played a football game 2 months ago.
We could talk about that too.
Yeah, so we played a football game 2 months ago, but the first time we actually sat down was like last week, and we've been following each other for like ages.
Yeah.
I've always seen your stuff, online. I really wanted to have this chance to sit down with you because when I see your Instagram, there's not much to show about your page. There's not much to show about your life. So today we want to discuss, who is Gavin Mayo?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people know me online. I just at Mayo on Instagram, so that's the name. Everybody, it's just my last name, Mayo, mayonnaise. And I started out making videos 3 years ago on TikTok just about stocks and crypto, so that's how everyone kind of knew me.
Yeah.
I started trading when I was 13 years old.
13.
Yeah, so I was like super early. I saw a Rolex in a window of this shop once, and I saw it was like $30,000, and I was like, is this like Bill Gates Rolex? Like, what is this thing? I didn't think that type of money existed anywhere else. And I started to look on Instagram, all these Rolexes, and then I saw some day trader had a Rolex, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna day trade, whatever that means. Figured it out, gambled my money a little bit. I was a kid, but it taught me a lot of lessons. I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, all that. But then around college time, I was a professional athlete, and I got injured, so I couldn't do anything else. So I was like, all right, let's make some money.
Athlete?
Yeah, I was a D1 college swimmer.
Wow. I think, by the way, sorry to interrupt. I think you're the youngest guest on this podcast.
Oh, really?
Ever to be interviewed, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 21 years old.
21.
Yeah.
And you just turned 21, right?
No, I actually will be 22 in about 3 weeks.
All right, 21 years old. He's the youngest guest. Second one was Iman, who was like second youngest, but you're officially the youngest guest on this podcast.
Awesome. I'll take that claim.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
But I started doing videos about stocks, crypto. I had a group where we just taught people about stocks and cryptos. That's where people knew me from. Got into a bunch of random stuff in NFTs and a bunch of other businesses. So I moved to LA, met a lot of people, did a lot of things. And from there, that's what I'm working on now, is I started doing asset management for a lot of different investors in the Web3 space. So we invest in cutting edge projects. So like anything Web3, I'm sure you heard of a bunch of these things that everyone thinks is going to cure cancer, but they all go up. And then I also trade people's money as well. And now I also own a group called 1%. It's been super low key for the past year and a half. You've been in it for like a few months now. Yeah. And that's where I'm at now. Those are the 2 projects right now. Everything else I put off to the side.
Nice. So, bro, you're 21 years old. How have you achieved the success that you've achieved up to this point so early? Like, there's a lot of people that say, use your youth to have fun, most of the other people that who have been here are like 24, 25. Do you feel like you used a lot of your childhood just working instead of like having fun, or this modern day kind of idea of like using your youth to like party and this and that? You know what I mean? Not
really, actually. I honestly never actually sat down and worked until this current 2023 year. The years before that, I was working a bit, but for the most part, I was being a degenerate and being an idiot, partying all the time. So I feel like to be able to put all that stuff off and be okay with it, you have to have that degenerate phase. So now, I mean, I lived in LA, so we all know what that means. So I did have fun in LA. I did my thing. I was always going out, seeing people, but I had business on the side, but luckily they were automated.
Yeah.
So my net worth held up. But
what type of businesses?
So one of them was the first ever business I ever started. Was we were teaching people about stocks and crypto, and people would just join a room. It's like $20 a month, and they would get a bunch of weekly calls, just education platforms. So that's how we started. And then from there, it led into a bunch of stuff in Web3, and now, which is my main thing, is just trading.
How much money were you making from that first business?
Quite a bit, actually. We had, so $20 doesn't sound like much, but we had, a couple thousand people paying $20 a month.
Wow. So per month, you were making like what?
Yeah, a good amount, like a couple $100K.
Couple $100K per month. At how old?
Well, I was 19 when I started that, and it's even crazier. My business partner was 16. So
what?
I've literally got my first ever business. I started with some 16-year-old kid.
Why?
I met him online. We worked together on another. It was like a Discord. We were on this other Discord, which did the same exact thing as we started, and we were like, these guys are idiots. So we started our own. we talked behind the scenes. And we're like, we can do this. And we were the ones bringing them all the members because we had TikTok followings. So we were like, why would we do this for someone else? Let's do it ourselves.
So you kind of started as like a day trader, but at the same time like a content creator on TikTok. Because I know
you're
viral on TikTok.
I actually I saw people on TikTok. I thought it was a dancing app. And then I saw people making videos about actual like finance stuff. And again, I thought they were all idiots. So I was like, I have to make content. If these guys can get a following, I actually know what I'm doing. But I didn't realize at the time that I was boring. So I was like going on there and talking about economy stuff. And then I realized, okay, so this is the attention economy. This is what I have to do to get views. I have to go on and this is going to, like whatever this is, just get people's attention. So that's when I got actually good at creating content, giving value, but also making it entertaining.
Very interesting. So now that you made this group, first of all, for the 16-year-old, I'm sure like this guy's probably super lucky that he was probably making a couple $100K a month at 16. That's wild.
Yeah. So at the time I had a little bit of money because I was a trader, but he never traded anything. He had probably like $500 to his name when we started.
Why did you partner up with him? What was his value add?
I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know what would be a good business partner. I just didn't think. He was just like, let's do it. And he had value because he had a big TikTok account. So I was like, all right, let's do it.
Okay, nice.
And he was all good at I didn't know how to make a Discord. So he's all good at the tech stuff. I hated that. So I was like, just handle that. Let me do the voice calls. Let me just do the marketing.
You do the training as well.
Yeah.
You had the actual knowledge on the training.
Yeah. His thing was more analytical behind the scenes type of stuff.
Nice. So how long did you run that for and why did you stop it?
We actually ran it for not too long, 8-9 months. And then in August of 2021, when I came to LA and I had a whole summer of just doing nothing, I felt bad for the group because we weren't doing anything. We hired people to keep running it, and we hired analysts to go in and teach. And then I was like, we're not doing anything anymore. So we just made it free. And then now it's just a Discord. People go in it and talk. But I wanted to do bigger and better things. So like a group was great for random anon kids on the internet. That's why I started the 1% group, because I wanted actual like ballers in a chat that can get things done, whales, people that know things. And that's the thing about our chat is there's all these other networking chats where they say they have these events and it's 7-figure entrepreneurs. It still is internet kids.
Okay.
But with 1%, I tried to build it in a way that there's people in that chat that would never pay for a networking event because it's not paid, it's invite only. So there's people in there, like I met this guy that owns a hedge fund in New York worth a couple $100 million if you Google his name. I met him at a casino. I would never have found this guy on the internet. He would have never paid to join a networking chat, but he's in that chat, and anything you need, this guy can get it done. Or anything, we have any age range from 17 to 60 years old. Like there's guys in there that you would never meet on the internet. Yeah, real businessmen. We have a lot of guys that have brick and mortar businesses, or there are a lot of like internet kids in there as well. But it's like a beautiful mix. So
there's diversity.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I've been in it. Honestly, it's very interesting. I see people asking the most random
funniest
questions.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one guy's like, I have crypto in like I don't know Kenya and I need cash. And someone's like, yeah, bro, PM me.
Yeah, or someone was selling like a private jet in there the other day. Like, hey, private jet Hawking 766 for 3.2 million, and someone's like, PM.
I don't understand that. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what deals are going on here? You know, I mean, it was funny though. It was very interesting.
There's some crazy deals. Like I think there's actually another 16-year-old kid in the chat that did some work for me. So I add him in the chat, and I think he's supposed to close a deal and his commission will be $13 million. So he met 2 other guys in the chat. And apparently he just texted me one day, he goes, I'm getting a Urus. And I'm like, how? And he's like, because of the 1%. I'm like, hell yeah. So there's like some big deals going on.
What was the deal? Can you reveal it, or like? What?
He wouldn't tell. He's like, when it's all finalized, I'll let you know. So in the next week, I hope it goes through, because bro, $13 million is a 16-year-old. I don't know. He's a smart kid though. He's really smart. So I hope he doesn't lose his money.
Yeah, no, but it's nice to see, like, bro, these days, the younger generation, it really shows that there is no excuse if you're not making money online, you know? The amount of possibilities, like 16-year-olds, bro, I'm seeing it myself. I'm seeing 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, e-commerce, drop servicing, Google Ads, CRO agencies, SMMA, you know?
Yeah, it's super easy to make money online, and I know it's easier said than done. It's also the first time in history that 16-year-old kids on the internet from their room can make $2, $3, $4 million. So it's kind of a good and a bad thing. Like, yeah, I did make my money through the internet, and I've always been like that. But I think going forward, a lot of these people need to actually understand the world, have a strong network. So once you get the money, that's where you need to figure out the next steps.
Right.
Girls, networking, just understanding the world, understanding people, that type of stuff is super important.
You know?
Team, like I didn't know anything about teamwork or employees.
I'm suck at delegating. I'm so bad at it.
I'm actually still quite bad at it, and because I'm not good at it, I just decided that I don't want to have I don't want a company. I don't want to deal with employees. Someone told me once, actually, a very smart guy, a mentor of mine, I was just asking him, because there's all these scams out there, all this stuff, and I was like, so what's the best way to not get scammed? Because we were talking about a friend that got scammed, and he was like, just do it all yourself. And I don't want to be one of those guys like, oh, you don't need teamwork, because you do need a network. But if you're going to do business, I find one guy, maybe two, but for the most part, I can generate money by myself in my bedroom just by trading, building a business. Like, I have probably 15 businesses I could build right now because I have ideas. I just don't have time for it, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. Like, it's an interesting balance. At the same time, you want to, like, for me, I'm similar to you, I think. I'm a hustler, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I never learned how to be a boss. Because, you know, there's difference. You know?
I don't get that mentality. Yeah. I think a hustler is a boss. So I see all these people saying, I'm going to create the next Tesla, and I'm going to make $100 million company, and I'm a sniper. Let me just snipe one $50 million deal a year. That's fine. That's great and all. Maybe it will happen, but I believe that's gambling your time.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So I don't want to wait 3 months for something that maybe could pay off. I'm a hustler. Like, I wake up, I make as much money as I possibly can that day, and that money can then multiply because I understand how to multiply money. So some people are like, 10K a day isn't enough. What is that? 300K a month. People want to make 1 to 5 mil a month. But that 10K a day in the future could be a 10X. So you're technically making 100K a day. That's $3 million a month. A year, that's $25 million. That's more than enough. You just need to compound your money. And in today's market, they're like, well, how are you going to 10X it? There's so many businesses, and just crypto in general. I tell people, just go where if it's raining, you're going to get wet. There's so much money in crypto, so much money in e-com. There's so much money in some of these internet businesses, whatever, casino, whatever it is. You can 10, 20, 30X your money. So if you invest $5 million into a business, like, that should be worth centime millions of dollars.
Okay, nice. So you came up, I remember you telling me you didn't have, like, the best. I mean, obviously you were comfortable, or, like, how was your upbringing? I don't remember.
I come from a place called Pennsylvania, a state in America, and I come from a small farm town. So you can probably do the math. There's no such thing as a millionaire in that town. There's 50K a year is like, wow, you're doing well. Just go get the job, do the thing. So growing up, I thought I was just a regular kid. I wasn't, like, living on the streets. But then when I remember being exposed to that Rolex, and I was like, this is the money that's out there. But I didn't truly understand it until I started living in LA. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how much money is really out there. So I didn't have any.
When did you move to LA before you started making money, or did you start making money and then you moved to LA?
So I went to 3 months after I started making big money. I planned a trip to Miami, or no, it was like Orlando, and it was in April. I met some people, and basically they were like, hey, come to LA next week. I was like, oh, sure, all right. I've never been to LA. I go to LA, I'm just, like, renting all these Airbnbs, like, being an idiot with cash, renting cars, all this stuff. Everyone's trying to, like, take advantage of me, whatever. And I was just like, this is sick. So I just stayed. I literally just left for a trip to Miami, went to LA, and then just stayed.
You didn't even go back home?
No,
I just looked back.
I looked like a geek anyways. I didn't have any good clothing. I remember this one girl took me out. She was like, I need to teach you how to dress. So she's taking me to, like, all these stores in Beverly Hills, and I'm like, wait, why would I spend $1,000 for a t-shirt, like, all this stuff? So, like, I got, like, a wardrobe upgrade, kind of figured out how to dress better than I was dressing, because I was like, I never understood brands. I was just wearing Old Navy and like shorts. Like I looked like an idiot. Like,
Yeah, geeky kid.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a professional swimmer.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And which side hustles have you tried? And which side hustles would you advise someone else to try?
I've at least looked into everything. That's one thing. Like I talk with my friends and they're like, they always come to me and ask me a question like, is this business good? Is it? Because I'm really good at identifying what trends are and what the next thing is. But in my opinion, just search the top 5 industries, which, okay, crypto, obviously get into crypto if you can. Let's say you don't like crypto. OnlyFans is huge. It's an evergreen business. Find a girlfriend, put her on OnlyFans, do whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to do. You can go on marketplaces and buy girls now. I don't know. You just go find a girl and manage her on OnlyFans or be like a chatter, whatever. E-commerce is great. I dabbled in it a little bit. I've never actually done a store, but I actually researched it extensively for a week about 6 months ago. Okay. I was trying to figure out what the deal was with it, if it was worth its time. But unless it's automated, it's not really my thing. What other businesses are there? Anything in sex, drugs, and gambling. So crypto falls under gambling. Casinos fall under gambling.
So you think crypto's a gamble?
Of course.
Oh, really?
Oh, actually, no, I don't. Well, I think going to the casino is gambling.
Okay.
I think trading crypto, if you have an edge, it's not gambling. But a lot of kids are gambling because they don't have an edge because they're stupid and they just listen to random signals on the internet and random people on Twitter. It's going to take you years to actually understand crypto, or you might even never understand it because you don't have the proper knowledge or there's nowhere out there on the internet that I've seen that actually teaches financial literacy in a good way. Where I learned everything from was my mentor. He was just this guy that lived in my building. Oh. And he managed hedge funds back. He's like a 50-year-old guy. Oh. And I would just sit down at coffee and wait for him in the morning. He would come down and he just loved talking about it. Like he's not on the internet anywhere. Yeah, he doesn't own any group. Like this guy probably has hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like an actual whale. And he tells me about things.
That's
and I just listened, and now we're really good friends. And we pretty much text every day. He's like, "Did you see this launch? Did you see this? Whatever."
Maybe that's from God that you guys are in the same building. Like that's crazy.
We're neighbors. Yeah, we were like neighbors. So, yeah, I mean that's where I learned 80% of my stuff from. The other 20% was from doing and just all the garbage. I basically filtered out all the garbage because I actually tell people don't read books, don't learn how to trade from a course, don't do any of that. The way you're going to learn, just like the way you're going to learn to play the piano, you could watch a course on playing the piano for 2 years straight. You're never going to learn how to play the piano properly. You just need to sit down and do it. So if you want to learn trading, you just need to sit down, lose a bunch of money, trade. If you want to learn how to do e-commerce, you just need to sit down. Like there's no course that's going to help you. And like all these course guys are probably like, don't tell them that. Don't tell them you don't need a course. But the guidance is good and a group is good. Like definitely pay to join group chats. If there's an e-commerce group chat or an OnlyFans group chat, get knowledge from other people. But at the end of the day, you just need to do it. And then you need to do it better than everyone else.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting take because I mean, most people in your position would consider selling a course, you know? But when it comes to trading, do you think that is a sustainable way to make money? There's like, you know, these statistics that come out that like 90% of traders lose money, you know?
It's more.
Right? Like 99 or what?
Yeah, probably 99.
99% of traders lose money. So if there was a kid, or let's say there was a man, young adult, any gender, who wanted to make money, would you suggest trading? The way I see it, sometimes I feel like it's kind of like a quick money thing or chase, you know?
Here's what I would suggest, and I get this DM like 10 times a week, and me and my friends even make fun of it, like, hey bro, if you're not day trading, then what are you doing with your life? Like all these guys are like talking about e-commerce and trading and cold showers.
I feel like at least you're cold showers. I feel
Saunas.
like you're building a business, you know what I mean?
So as far as trading goes, what made me become the best trader in the past year is just playing with big money. Okay. Once you make big money, you will become a good trader because you won't be attached to that money. I even put like tweets out all the time, like, oh, I lost like 100 ETH today. Everyone's like, oh my God, but like, it's just whatever.
100
like,
ETH.
If you just like, yeah, you have those days sometimes. It's just whatever. If you play with a big portfolio, because that's what trading comes to at the end of the day. It's just emotions.
You've lost 100 ETH in a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably more. I mean, it just happens. $200K right now, I guess.
Damn. $200K.
Yeah, but the next day you can make $400K or whatever it is. It just depends. And I don't use leverage, so I'll just get into a trade and I could be down on the trade, but I'll just DCA. I just keep going. Like, so I'll just dollar cost average in and I'll put in more. So I could be down 500K on a trade and then 2 days later it could be up 200K. So it's just like, I don't think about it. I'm just like, I know the trade's valid.
So you don't suggest the trading then?
No. So what I suggest with trading is, sure, you can play around with it. You can gamble your money because that's essentially what you're doing if you're a beginner. But I don't think it's a good stable way of, hey, I'm going to go be a day trader and I'm going to trade stocks every day or I'm going to trade crypto every day. What you should do, it's quite interesting. I don't know how familiar you are with shitcoins. That is straight gambling, but it's better than any casino odds because you could be a kid and get lucky. Like, it was last night, this one coin launched. You would have put 1 ETH in at the start, or let's just say, I think he put someone turned 0.1 ETH, which is $180, into 700K in a couple hours. So that is a possibility for some kids. So if you want to, and you have like, let's just say spare 1 to 2K, go on and gamble on, they're called shit coins. And they're just random Ponzi's that launch. Like you can go on Dextools right now and you can see all the coins that are launching every day. There's hundreds of them. That's what I trade in my Web3 fund. I literally just trade shitcoins because there's an edge in that market. For most people, it's just gambling, but I trade them like an actual trader. So there's no one that's trading shitcoins like me. It's just a bunch of,
how do you do it?
It's a bunch of different stuff. So for example, you can see every wallet that buys a coin. So I just go through and I look at wallets. Like I have a bunch of wallets tracked on my phone, or I can see, wait a second, this $1.6 million wallet that holds all these big coins just aped into this coin. He's not aping out of air. He's not just aping for fun. It means something because most of these coins are scam insider plays.
Right.
So like they know something, or I'll know how many bullets are left, which means like how many sells people can do. So like I'll go through the wallets and I'll be like, okay, the sellers are pretty much exhausted here. Sometimes I'll test the waters a little bit. I'll toss in like an ETH. If people keep selling into me, I'll toss in another ETH or two. And I was DCA 1.4x. And then eventually I do one big buy and it starts off the next run, boom, 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 boom. It's such low liquidity that anybody that buys on top of you, like I said, it's a Ponzi. And then you make, an ETH or two and boom. So it's like, it's just like trading Ethereum or stocks or whatever, but you actually have an edge because you're trading against retards. Because everyone in shitcoins is just a gambling degenerate and they don't use risk management. So you can take advantage of that and really, really stack up. Like you can make 10, 20 ETH a day on average, which is 20 to 40
it sounds very like calculated, and it seems like you really know what you're doing. And the techniques you're saying, I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you're tracking those wallets, But I don't know if I see it as like a good thing for like people to go into that like are just on the come up. Because
literally just like gambling, I don't recommend it. But if you really want to get into trading or you really want to gamble your money, don't go to the casino.
Okay.
Go on Dextools and right? I would not recommend any of you even really try trading. There's plenty of other businesses that you can try.
Yeah. I mean, so you were talking a bit earlier about books. You don't like books?
Well, why would I like books? What's the point?
I don't know. They say like books are like having a conversation with the smartest people of the previous centuries.
What can a book teach me that I can't just learn how to do myself or talk to someone that I know is smarter than me in that particular field? It's just mental masturbation. All these books. Let's go to the sauna in the cold shower and then we'll meditate for 30 minutes and then that's all it is in the books. It's all the same thing. 4-hour work week, and if you just go to the sauna every day, then you just it's all bullshit. There is one book. Definitely study 48 Laws of Power. That's a good book. There are some books that are good, but in my opinion, instead of trying to read 100 pages of a book a day or like spend that time just hustling, making money and going out and doing. Like I said, you can't read a book on how to play the piano. You just have to do. I learned the reason I don't like books is because they didn't bring me to success. I learned just from doing and just getting over a bunch of times or f***ing something up or whatever. So that's why I don't like books. Maybe it works for other people. And that's at the end of the day, like I could be wrong about a lot of things on this podcast, but it worked for me. Like I'm just talking from my objective and I just critically think about things. So a lot of people don't realize their worldview could be wrong, or everyone's just different. Like I thought a bunch of things back then that now I changed my mind. So you just have to just observe the environment around you and do what you think's best.
Nice. I know that you're very focused on health. And how do you feel like health contributes to entrepreneurship or, let's say, making money?
So I am focused on health, but I have some controversial takes what I tell like kids that are just starting out. And I remember tweeting on Twitter and everybody freaking out. So I'm very health conscious and I do like some pretty weird things.
You have like some health coaches around you all those
times. Like I was just with my friend earlier. We went to a restaurant, ate like 25 oysters and did some like raw milk and some raw meats, like raw chicken, raw steak, all that good stuff. That's just how I operate because your brain is like a CPU, it's like a computer. So I try to, I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but a lot of these health coaches, they tell you, oh, just track your calories and just eat chicken here. But we take it a step further and we actually eat the best foods. Like we're going to Africa next week. and we're literally going to have like the freshest of fruits, freshest of fruits. We won't buy from supermarkets. Like we have to have a raw milk plug in all these different countries. Like I have to call them up, and like we have to arrange things before to get it from dairy farms and all that. So that's where we're health conscious about things.
Can you explain raw milk? What is it? Like, what do you mean? Like,
Milk is just any type of animal product is just really good for humans as long as it is actually natural. So a lot of the raw foods, it's the easily digestible food in your body. Like if you cook a steak, it's just a rock in your stomach. You're not getting any nutrients. You're killing all the enzymes, all the bacteria, all that type of stuff. I also have a joke where I say like, don't drink water. Water is a scam. Like that's what I mess around on the internet. I say that as I have water right here right now. I don't actually think it's a scam, but I drink maybe a liter of water a week. The rest of my nutrients just come from fruit juices. I drink random cucumber juice. And when you're eating raw meats, you have hydration from there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a bit quacky.
But liquid-wise, you drink a lot of liquids, but just not water.
Yeah. That's kind of the joke. But when I tell, like, I haven't drank water in 6 months, everyone's like, he's lying. He can't live without water. Like obviously I'm getting water molecules, but because water dilutes. When you actually drink like a gallon of water, all these people do that, the gym people, it dilutes a lot of stuff in your body. You don't want that. You want liquids with nutrients in them. So cucumber juice, or we drink natural sparkling water. So it's actually like naturally sparkled. How do you call it? Carbonated. Yeah. It's naturally carbonated from volcanoes. It's not like they don't put the actual bubbles in it. So like you drink that type of stuff. Like everything's natural. We're a little bit quacky with it. I don't think you need to do that. But I tell a lot of people about the gym just starting out too, because in my opinion, money is health. So I tweeted something. I was like, why are you going to the gym if you're broke? Stop going in the mirror and squatting, and what are 2 inches on your bicep going to do for your health? It's not going to do anything. I think money will contribute to all things health. So whether it's mental health, and your mental health is the most important thing. I know they even did a study where these people actually lifted, and then there was people that mentally lifted their bicep, where they just looked at their bicep and just like mentally did it.
Imagine it.
And the people that mentally did it had just almost the same results. And then there was another group that did nothing. So the people that mentally did stuff had the same results. So that's why I think mental is so important. And without money, I think your mental's fucked. And without money, how are you going to do all this health stuff? You think this raw milk is cheap? And without money, what's the point of going to the gym? Like what, you're basically just going to be a broke guy with big biceps. Like no one takes you seriously. Like it's just those guys that live in the gym for 6 hours a day, but they're still broke. What is the point?
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. So if you're broke,
that's extreme. Yeah.
Don't go to the gym. That's how I see it, because first just get money and it will solve every other aspect of your life. Money is health, not like health is wealth and all this different stuff. I think money equals health. The more money you have, the healthier you are.
Really? I feel a lot of people,
solves everything.
Maybe, I mean, obviously I agree with you in the fact that you should not spend 6 hours in the gym. And I do see those people who like make gym their 100%, like middle of the day on a weekday, they're in the gym, middle of the day, and I'm like, bro, like this like off like work hours, you know what I mean? You should go like before, as soon as you wake up, or like at night, but not in the middle of the day when you should be working,
Yeah.
But sometimes when you say they say health is wealth, because sometimes some people sacrifice their health when it comes to when you're making money. You have a lot of late nights.
That's fine. For just a year or two, you just have to grind. You have to put everything else off in your life. If a lot of people say that, they're like, well, you shouldn't sacrifice. If you're doing that over a 10-year period, then you're just stupid. Like, I don't know, how can you not make 10, 20, $30 million in 10 years? Just put off a year to your life and just focus on money, nothing else. No girl. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to master girls first. And if I just do this pickup line, alpha widow, 69 line, whatever it is, let me just like go day game at the mall. Let's day game. Like I picked up 4 Ukrainian chicks. Like that's what they do all day. Don't worry about girls. Don't worry about health.
Yeah, good.
Make money, and then worry about everything else. Like I'm like super. If I was broke right now, I would actually not be able to sleep. I would just be sitting there like freaking out. And that's why I tell people. And if they're not freaking out and they're not sitting in their room like actually can't sleep, then they're probably not going to be rich, or they're probably not meant to be rich. You need to understand how important it is. But another issue is in today's society, people try to cope and they try to say that money doesn't mean anything. And my mom still tells me this, Gavin, money's not everything, and money doesn't make you happy. For you to say money doesn't make you happy, you have to be rich. That's like a fat person telling a skinny person how to work out. Like, you can't speak on something if you don't have it. I've never talked to a rich person that's like, yeah, this money, man, it's not making me happy. You have to be rich, then you can say that. Because I see all the brokies in the comments of my stuff. Money doesn't make you happy, and you shouldn't focus on money. Why are you flexing your money so much, this and that? If you're broke, you can't speak on if money makes you happy or not. I don't think it's everything. I think there's obviously other things involved, but money is super important. And in today's society, they try to make it seem like it's not to keep you in a box. That's how I see it.
Yeah. What do you think about trolling?
I just started my Twitter about a week and a half ago, and I went like giga viral. I had like a 55 mil viewed tweet.
One of the Tates replied to. Replied to it.
And again, like, thank you for having me on, and thank you for showing me around Dubai. You took me to see the tigers the other day. So I posted something on Twitter about, I was like, just bought a baby tiger, like just a joke of me with like the tiger in the car. And people went crazy. I have people calling the Dubai government right now and be like, he has a tiger, it's illegal, he can't buy a tiger. Like, people are like calling the Dubai government, and I actually, like, all these people are like, you didn't spend that much money on a tiger. Like, obviously it's a joke. You have to be stupid to understand it's a joke. Even Tiger King responded to my tweet.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like a couple million views. Tiger King responded an hour ago. I was laughing so hard. He just said, like, love him. Like, because like, to all the feminists, like all the feminists and all the animal rights activists are in the comments freaking out. But
the Tiger King, Joe Exotic.
Yeah, the Joe Exotic. It was pretty fun. I didn't know if it was his real account. I was like looking through. It's actually him. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, today's an attention economy, so you have to say some outrageous stuff. So 6 out of 10 of my tweets are valuable, and the other 4 is just me being an absolute retard, and people don't realize that. Like I say in my voice, I have a voice channel on Telegram, and I was like talking about it yesterday because all these people were quote tweeting my stuff. And the reason the lighter tweet went so viral is because I said I spent $7,000 on a lighter. The lighter's like $2K, I think. I don't remember. I got it like 6 months ago. The video is from my camera roll. Everyone's commenting, actually, it's $2K, and that's not a real DuPont lighter, and this and that. Like, people just love to be the first ones to hate. So trolling is, I think, the best way to just build your audience. I have a great time. I go on Twitter, just say some shit I know it's going to piss people off, go in the comments, talk some shit, and then the 1% of people that see that tweet, what's 1% of 50 million? You know, thousands and thousands of people are going to see that, and then that 1% is like, this guy's obviously a troll. I'm a smart person, and what he's saying is actually correct. So they join my Telegram channel, and they're like, oh, this guy's cool. So that's what it is. Just get attention in today's economy.
Good publicity?
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity, because I'd rather have, and that's why I started my group. Like, I have 300 competent individuals in my group. I'd rather have 300 people that are super successful like me than 3 million people that hate me. It doesn't matter if losers hate you. That's what I realized. But if successful people don't like you, you might be doing something wrong. You need to figure out what your deal is with your reputation. So I just think of people on the internet like little ants. If no one's successful, I actually do not care what they say. I don't listen to a single thing. There's 2 people, maybe 3 people in this world that I'll ask advice for. Everyone else, even growing up, I was like, well, this guy's telling me this. I don't want his life, so who cares what he says? And that's just how I see it. And yeah, today, attention is super important. And a lot of people that want to talk about fame, and like, fame isn't important, and that's just another coping thing. Like, money isn't important. They're only saying that because they don't know how to talk on camera, or they don't know how to get fame, or whatever it is. I think today fame is super important because it opens new doors. Why would you not have a personal brand? I delayed my personal brand for a bit because I was just focused on stuff I didn't feel like, but I actually enjoy it now. Like, I have fun, so that's why I'm doing it. So personal brand is super important, and I'm sure you'll probably see me all over the place soon because I'm starting to get on all platforms.
You're everywhere now. You're gonna be everywhere soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
On this point about personal brand, I noticed that, personal brand helps a lot, and a lot of people struggle with like creating content. And I know that you've been a content creator. You're going viral on Twitter. You went viral on TikTok before. Instagram also as well, you're starting. So what's the secrets? You
just have to have an interesting life. Like, a lot of you can't fake some things. So it depends what you're creating content for. If you're, I don't know, love cats and you know all about cats and you're creating content about cats, then sure, like, you know about cats. But if you're just some kid and you're trying to make money online, and then you're trying to teach about making money online, you don't have an interesting life, and you're just, people use my B-roll on TikTok all the time of like my life on their stuff, trying to act like it's them. So the main thing is just being an interesting person and living an interesting life, and you'll have stories, you'll have things to talk about, you'll know what you're talking about. Like, if anybody's to ask me about trading, like, I know every ins and outs of trading. I could talk about it for hours. Like, I love talking about trading because I've done it. But if I didn't know anything about trading and I was trying to like talk about it, it would just come off as inauthentic. Like, it would just be weird. So you just have to know your stuff, and there comes a certain point where you should create content. If you're not at that point yet, then just react. Like I have a good friend, like he has like 300K subscribers on YouTube, and he just reacts to funny videos, and he's just interesting.
Easy.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
Just react. He gets his mom, and he just has her come down and react to like content with him. Like, find your mom, go to your room and create some content.
Yeah, unique. Question on the note about happiness and fame and money. What would you have to say? Not that I disagree with you necessarily in all aspects, but what do you have to say about the people who were famous and rich and they committed suicide?
Because they didn't have like money. Like obviously, money isn't everything, and a lot of people say that, but those people were just broken people to begin with. So there are like, you ever heard the phrase where people are like, I'm trying to remember who said it, where like, oh, that if like a geek has a Lambo, it's just a rich geek. It's like the same thing. Like if a mentally depressed or mentally ill person gets money, they're still mentally ill with money. So they're not going to be happy in the first place. Like I know the people that I talk to, because there are plenty of people that made money and they're just a mess. Their life is a mess. You see it with a lot of celebrities, and they get depressed or whatever it is. But that's how I see it. I don't know. At least for my
magnifier of who you already are.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of kids that get money, and there's still. I have friends in LA that I know that make a lot of money, and they have serious problems. Like they are just, and like they can't get girls or they can't do this, and that's another thing. So you need all areas of your life. So like that money lets those all areas shine through. So if you have money, you're naturally going to be better with girls. If you have money, you're naturally going to be better at networking and meeting close friends. If you have money, you're naturally going to have a more interesting and fun life. That's how I see it. So a lot of these people, they get money, but they don't do the other 5 things that they need to check off the box. That's why they're depressed. And my friend, I'm pretty sure he's literally just depressed because he can't get girls, because he just comes up and he's like, I have like come to the club, I'm going to spend 20K. Like he's trying to use his money as his personality. Like you need to have everything. So if you check off all those boxes and you're not happy, then I don't know, there's something wrong with you.
Did you ever struggle with mental health?
No, never. I don't believe it. I believe depression is real, but I believe money is the cure to depression.
Okay.
So depression is definitely real, but you're depressed because of what's going on in your life. Okay. Like you're depressed because you're sitting in your room eating Cheetos and jerking off, not because you have some head problem, and also you're probably taking medication or some bullshit. You're depressed because of your life. I don't have depression because I've never had issues, and I'm a very strong-minded individual. So that's just how I see depression. I disagree that it's not real. Like I think that's just a phrase. Depression is 100% real, but you have to ask yourself, why are you depressed? At least my environment and the people I meet, this is why I'm saying this stuff, because this is what I observe. Like all these people you see that were crying about when he said depression wasn't real, and all these people on the internet saying depression wasn't real, they have a depressing life. Yeah. Obviously you're going to be depressed. Yeah. If I was in some town right now with $0 and I was ugly and had no girlfriend and no one liked me, I would be depressed. So that's what depression is. It's just your circumstances suck and you're a loser. So fix it, take control of your life. But a lot of people, they have this just victim mentality and they're so entitled. Like it's crazy the DMs I get. Hey bro, could I get $500? Or bro, you don't understand. I don't know you. Yeah. I've never spoken to you in my life. Why would I help you? And I'm already giving back. Like I'm already making these voice messages and helping all these people. Like I get countless DMs. Hey bro, thanks. That really made sense. And they have the entitlement to like ask for money. It's just like people are just entitled. The world that they live in puts them in a box and they're just never going to be successful. It's just how the world works. I don't really think about it too much. Just whatever. I try to do what I can. At the end of the day, no one cares about you. No one cares about your life. And no one even cares about the successful people that achieved a lot. I think of this all the time, how Kobe Bryant achieved so much. The guy was the GOAT. And people are starting to, like, people just don't really talk about it anymore. Like, you will die someday. You have to think on your deathbed, okay, so do I have any regrets in life? Should I have went up and talked to that girl? Should I have started that business? People don't care. Everyone forgets. Imagine sitting on your deathbed and being like, if only I did this, or damn, I never even was a billionaire. I never even had $1 million. Like that is depressing. I think of that a lot, but you have to truly imagine that. So at the end of the day, when all these people are complaining and you do this and you do that, like I'm just thinking about my deathbed. I don't care what that feminist says on the internet. I don't care what that person says. It's just do you, live your life. And at the end of the day, I just trust myself. Like I just don't listen to people. I think that's another reason why I've become, and I have a lot of different ideas because I've developed an internal voice. I don't listen to people on the internet. I don't watch anything anymore. I think like myself, and sometimes it might not even make sense. Maybe I'm not even making sense, but I listen to like one or two people, and that's where I get my information from. And then I internalize it, and then I spit it out.
Who are those people?
One of my mentors in Los Angeles, older guy, like 50 years old, smartest guy I ever met. Yeah, I was speaking earlier. Smartest guy I ever met, genius, and the wealthiest guy I know by far. He might be a billionaire, who knows? And then there's another guy I actually met with him this week in Dubai. He's about, most of my mentors are older. He's about 30 years old, and we met in a pretty interesting way, and he helped me with a lot of things. And he's actually the reason I started the 1% group was kind of because of him.
How did you guys meet, or like what's the?
We met on the internet, like most of my relationships, but it was just funny. I just DM'd him about something, and it is just a long story. I won't say it on camera. No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No. Like both of these guys are super low key, super like they don't care about fame or anything, and they're just living their life. They're successful guys, but they're just wise. They're smart people.
People who are paying for mentorships, like, because I know this is true. You're not paying them, of course. So
well, listen, can you extract 1% of value from whatever you're paying for? If the answer is yes, then just do it. A lot of people complain about, oh, that's too expensive. Instead of saying that's too expensive or that I can't afford that, say I might have to just work for one more month to get this. If you actually want something and you think that it can improve your life in 1%, then pay for it. Like even these courses, like I knock on the courses and I knock on like all these signal groups, they're probably retarded, but will they help you 1%? Probably. Maybe they'll detriment you. I don't know.
At least more than university.
Of course. Yeah, of course more than university. Actually, it's funny. Exactly yesterday, I would have been graduating college.
Wow.
So it was crazy. I didn't know, and I saw
I saw a story about that.
Yeah, I saw some kids on Snapchat that I used to. I barely go on there, but I saw one of them post a story, and they were like going with their graduation gowns, and I was just like, those guys.
My goodness.
I wasn't a fan of college. It was.
What do you think they think about you now?
So I went back twice since I started everything, and the first time I went back, I met them, and of course I could see the jealousy in their eyes and this and that. And then the last time I went back, I went to meet one of my friends that I actually still talk to from college. He's a beast, and we hung out and stuff. And I wanted to meet my original roommate from college, and he didn't want to meet with me. He's like scared of me. I was like, all right, whatever. Like, he thinks I'm like just like some like dickhead now on the internet, like just doing this and that. Like people were just, but they were all kind of losers to begin with. That's actually the reason I thank them, because the reason I dropped out of college was I was a swimmer, so like I was living with these teammates in my sophomore year, and one of them sat me down and was like, I don't feel safe with you in the house. This was before the Trump election, by the way, so I was like super conservative and they were super liberal. Okay. So they didn't feel safe with me in the house because I kept arguing with, I couldn't keep my mouth shut because they'd be talking about some stupid mask stuff, or they were like, Gavin, you have to wear a mask when we have friends in the house. And I was like, bruv, off. No, like, and they were like, you can't do that. You can't say that in front of our, like, it was just so stupid. It was just stuff like that. So they basically kicked me out. And then I was just like, all right, I can't swim. These guys, they were all, that was when I was starting my TikTok as well. So they were making fun of me on TikTok, and like, I just didn't listen to anyone. I was just like, screw everyone, started making a little bit of money, and then everything just took off. And then now they just silent. But
question, what actions do you do in your day-to-day life that increase your chance of success? Is there any actions you do daily?
Any actions? No. All actions, yes. Just action, action, action. I tell people all the time, one thing, you want to know what cures depression, like we talked about earlier? The one thing that cures it is speed. You don't have time to think about being depressed if you're just constantly doing stuff. I can't be depressed if you're just boom, 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 boom. Like I'm so action oriented. So instead of trying to set all these tasks up and I'm going to wake up and drink this supplement and go to the sauna, and then I have meditation here. I don't even plan my days. I just wake up, okay, this, that to do. Sometimes I get like anxiety sometimes if I'm like not doing something. Like even sometimes I'm like out and I'm like at like a group of friends at dinner, and like we're not talking about money or like how to move forward. I'm just like I gotta go home and just do my stuff. Like yeah. I get stressed out sometimes. Do you think that was innate,
or do you think that happened because you turned on this like switch inside of you?
I turned the switch on. I used to be able to like sit on the beach.
Me too.
I used to be like,
I feel this exact same way.
Let me just drive around LA in my Lambo and and go on the beach, and like that's just how I felt. And then now I'm like, a few things that I thought about in the past couple of months, now I'm like, world conquest. Like I need to do this.
You're on a mission.
Yes, I'm on a mission now. So once you find your purpose, like you won't be able to. That's a lot of these kids, like they want to make money, but they don't have their purpose. Like you need to just, like I'm just like.
What's your purpose?
I want to grow the 1% group. So right now it's been invite only for years, or for like a year and a half.
Nobody can pay any amount.
Yeah, no one can pay any amount. I've turned 10, 20 people a week away. Like just random kids always want to join. It was kind of, no one really knows about it because it's like invite only. Now I'm going to be opening it up to the public, and I'm going to try to like really take over, because there's really no networking groups really out there that you can have access to some of these guys that wouldn't pay for a group. So like it's going to be the WhatsApp group, and then there's going to be a Telegram associated with it that people can join. And that's just what I'm trying to grow. I want to grow it into the biggest network on earth, where we just literally teach people about everything, and people can do meetups. Like we did a supercar meetup the other day. I want to run meetups. Yeah. I want to run meetups all over the world. I want to run supercar rallies. I want to have people starting businesses together. Like this group chat is for you guys all start this real estate project, and here we're going to have this private club in Monaco here. Like that's the plan. I have a few other stuffs behind the scenes, but yeah, that's like my purpose now. I sat down and I was like, I just need to do it, because I want 1,000 competent individuals as part of my network. That's the most important thing, because with that, you can do anything.
Nice. What's your net worth now, if you want to reveal it?
Yeah, so I can explain this in a way, and I might sound crazy. I'm a billionaire, and it's not, everyone's like, they're always like, some people ask me that same question, and I'm like, I am a billionaire. Because let's think about it. Does a billionaire have a liquid $1 billion in his bank account?
No.
Okay, so is he actually a billionaire? No. Like liquid billionaire, no, I'm not a liquid billionaire yet. Probably will be mathematically soon. But I'm a billionaire because, number one, let's just say I can make, I don't know, 10, 20 ETH a day. That's like, let's just call it like 500 to $1 million a month. That's like 12 mil a year. You do like a money calculator, since it's like a hedge fund style thing. We're already in the hundreds of millions of just me, that the money I can generate and the money that I make, and then other businesses that, and then just the 1% group alone. Like I'm a Web3 wealth manager now. Like I own a hedge fund for the chat and manage money for people. If I went in the chat today and was like, I have this huge opportunity, everyone give me $500,000 that can afford, probably could raise about $50 to $100 million right there. So as far as the money calculator thing, I think my net worth is over $1 billion.
Damn.
And hopefully $1 trillion soon. But yeah, that's how I see it. A lot of people are like, that's crazy, that's stupid. But if you break it down technically, I think I'm a billionaire. At least 100 million, at least. Yeah. As far as the money I manage, but yeah.
Interesting. First youngest billionaire.
Yes, I'm the youngest billionaire in the world right now. Make sure everyone knows.
Nice. That's gonna be a good clip. It's a bit crazy. It's outlandish.
The thing is, it sounds crazy when I say it, but does it make sense since I explained it?
Somewhat, I guess.
I have access to $1 billion at my fingertips.
Yeah, and some of the things you say, it's hard to calculate the worth of it. You know?
Yeah, just like a lot of these billionaires, it's hard to calculate their worth.
You kind of decide the worth of that kind of thing.
Let's just call it 100 million. Could I gather $100 million liquid in 24 hours?
I know you manage a lot of money.
Yeah, I do manage quite a bit of money. So it's definitely in the 8 figures, and I think it's in the 9 figures and hopefully 10 figures.
Yeah. Question about the trading then, because obviously that is some part of what you do.
Yeah.
When you trade, I know there's mainly 2 ways of trading: fundamentals and technical analysis.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Which one's better? Some people, they trade on technical analysis, which is like where they analyze obviously the patterns, the way the chart looks.
Yeah, everyone on Twitter and all these guys in the groups are like, well, it's making the triangle Christmas tree pattern. Let me candlestick this and that. I think it's literally all astrology. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Okay. All these patterns, all this stuff, I don't look at that stuff. Do you think hedge funds sit there and go through and go on TradingView, let me make this Christmas tree pattern and that? No. They sit, they talk to their other rich friends, they have people in the government that probably give them insider knowledge. That's how they trade. But fundamentals does matter. Of course, fundamentals always win. That's why I've been telling people the crypto market, because I've been saying like $200 ETH and like 5K Bitcoin, just because of the manipulation that's going on. But as far as technical goes, all that the technical analysis will tell you is like, should I take a long or should I take a short? Because that's what you know what shorting is, when you make money when it goes down. So that's what technicals will tell you is like, okay, I'm fundamentally deciding to take this long. These are what the technicals is telling me. So like I keep it super simple. On my chart, Bollinger Bands and RSI. Only indicators I use. Yeah. RSI, barely even look at it. Bollinger Band, if we're riding above the middle Bollinger Band, a short is probable and probably a good move on a long enough time frame. If we're riding below it, A long is probable and probably a good trade on a long enough. Bollinger Band is just an indicator. It just takes some average bullshit together. And some people use MACD, some people use all these other indicators. I just keep it simple. And then obviously there are support and resistance levels that I do use, but I have like 4 on my chart. Like a lot of people have like 50 different levels and all this stuff and all these money flow, this and that. That's not how I trade. And I don't day trade. I don't actually really believe in day trading anymore.
Swing trading more?
So I'm like a sniper when it comes to trading. I day trade shitcoins because they're fun and it's easy to make big returns. You can make 100, 200, 300% a month. As far as my big trades, whether it's ETH, oil, stocks, whatever it is, I'll trade any indice. There's always a setup at least once every few months. So I take that one big trade, I'll take 1 to 2 trades a month, and I do big money. All these traders out here trading with 1% of their portfolio, when they can just take one big trade that is super probable and just make 5-10% of that, and you'll make more than you making a million day trades. So I'm just like a sniper with it. I just take 1 or 2 trades a month, huge money, boom, done, out. And I don't even worry about it because I haven't lost a trade since March of last year. And I've only taken 1 to 2 trades per month, and it's just all high probability. Whether it's longing or shorting ETH, whether it's longing or shorting gold, whatever it is, I just literally just sit down, analyze it. If it goes above my target, I DCA. Like that's how I do things.
Where's Bitcoin going now? Are you buying or are you shorting?
Here's how I see Bitcoin right now. We're in phase 1 accumulation zone. So that means we're starting the bull market off. And everyone's like, oh, bull market, we're going to 50K. No. That means that we should trade sideways for 6 to 10 months until probably the Bitcoin halving. That would be the next bull market kickoff. So this time last year, market was almost just about to crash. And I was telling people I saw under 1,000 ETH before June, and I was right. And I think in like the summer, I was telling people like I see $300 ETH or $200 ETH. And I did see that, but this is the most manipulated market I have ever seen in my history of being alive. And I've never, ever seen a bear market without capitulation in equities and crypto, which means we have to find that bottom. So it's not just like, oh, that 20K wherever we were at like a month or 2 ago, it's like, everyone just goes long. No, we will have a capitulation zone where we do wick down. I don't know if that's going to be 20K. I don't know if it's going to be 15. Here's how I see the statistics. I see there's a 20% chance we'll go under 15K Bitcoin. There is a 75% chance that we go between 20 and 30 and we just range bound. And then there's like a 5% chance. My friends think I'm wrong. I think it's like a 0.1% chance, but there's like a 5% chance that it's just, we just range bound a little bit. And like in a month or 2, we head past 30.5, but I don't see how that's possible because Bitcoin mining sell pressure. So there's a bunch of other things I look at, but fundamentally this market is just, and I don't see how the feds can just start printing again because they're just going to be like, all right, let's just cause a Great Depression.
I don't know what they're doing.
They're idiots, but it's just manipulation.
But I like how you know very well about Bitcoin.
I know what all the hedge funds are doing.
Give us like percentages of each chance,
Yeah.
Because most people ask them the question, they're like, well, you can't really say. But you have very strong.
I have a lot of strong views, and I could talk about it for hours. I talk about it all the time with my friends, and we change our goalpost every month because the markets change. But it's just after seeing the manipulation, I've seen Morgan Stanley been manipulating that VIX for like 8 months now. Like Citadel, they manipulate options every day to suck people in to go long because they make a killing on 0DT. They theta burn them. It's just, so all these hedge funds, they just make a killing going long, and the market maker's job is to have people sucked in and then just shoot it down.
Damn. You think you're the youngest hedge fund owner? Maybe.
Yeah, technically. I know there's one other guy I've heard about, and because I met with someone in Miami, and they said there's a guy in Miami, I think he's a young kid, and he also manages Web3 money, but it's a bit, like my stuff is low risk, high reward. It sounds too good to be true, but like I'm literally trading money in low market cap coins, like shit coins. I'm trading like tits coin, whatever it is. Then like that's where money is going. And I also invest in some other Web3 projects and try to build some things out. But for the most part, I'm literally just I'm dominating the shitcoin market essentially because it's there's enough liquidity. A lot of people are like, why would you trade shitcoins? There's enough liquidity to make millions a month. But there was a Pepe coin last week. It had like 100 million volume in one day.
Yeah. PEP.
$100 million in volume. That's a lot of money to be made in trading in and out of that. So there's more than enough money. Like it's just no hedge funds know about this. So there's no competition to me.
100 million.
And I don't even know when we're gonna release this. But the second I start talking about how I'm trading shit coins, man, I bet some hedge funds are gonna come in. There was already one guy doing it, but he's not. He started a bot. Have you heard of these MEV bots?
I have. These trading bots.
There's a guy named Jared from Subway.eth, and he's making 500K to $1 million a day just front running people. So a lot of people that aren't in crypto, basically this guy just front runs a transaction. So he'll buy before he can see on the blockchain. So it will buy before someone. So let's say someone wants to buy 1 ETH, he'll buy 5 ETH, and the second they buy the 1 ETH, he dumps 5.1. He makes $200, and he just does that over and over and over on autopilot.
It's a bot.
Yeah, and he snipes launches, and he gets in early, and like this guy's making 500K a day.
Wow.
He must have taken months, because I've known about this bot for a while, but it never made that much. He just must have perfected the algorithm, and now he's making millions. But
you think the bot thing
I've thought about building one, but I'm not a dev, and you have to, number one, be a genius dev, and number two, you have to waste a lot. You're gambling your time. You're gonna have to spend 6 months perfecting this algorithm,
you know,
and you're gonna have to.
Has this bot?
No idea. If you try to go and check up the source code, it just says Jared loves Subway. And like everyone's talking about him on Twitter. It's probably just some genius kid that's sitting in his room printing $1 million a day. More than hedge funds probably.
Wow.
And it's only going to get more because when the bull market comes back, there's going to be way more volume and shit. That's where
maybe now with AI as well, probably introducing that would be very interesting.
For sure.
Damn, interesting. I've seen some of these trading bots, but there are a lot of scams trading bots as well, I think.
Yeah, I don't mess around with it. I've had like 15 people just try to like ask me about trading bot for the chat. Hey man, they can make 15% a month, or hey, you could make 20% a month. Why not just put some of your money here? I'm like, bro, if I make 500% a month just messing around, I don't need some bot to make 20% a month. And they're all scams anyways. They're all Ponzi's. A lot of them are half Ponzi's though. It's quite smart what they do. They basically, they'll get people's money, they'll try to Ponzi it, and then they try to turn it into a fulfilling Ponzi. So like they'll actually trade the money on the bot, but they'll also take some money and try to gamble it on the side, and then they'll try to pay everyone back their initial, and then boom, they have a bank credit of like 10 mil. We saw one of these scams in the summer. I won't even mention the name, but it was this huge thing, and I had all my friends, they were printing like 15-20% a month, and they had like 300K in the thing or 400K. And I told them, I was like, just watch, you guys won't be able to withdraw in 1 to 2 months. They're like, bro, we can withdraw whenever, like you just put the request in. I was like, I guess we'll see. 2 months go by. Yeah, there's like the huge telegram, everyone calling it a scam, everyone lost all their money.
Oh, no.
I think collectively of people I know, they've lost over like $3 million collectively. There's like 10 friends I know that had money in it. And I told them, I was like, why don't you guys just literally just put into gold or something? You could probably make the same returns. Like, so stupid. Yeah, just don't do algorithms. When people are tweeting you on Twitter, hey man, I have this bot, just send me money. Like, just be careful.
All right. What about, I wanted to ask you, when it comes to, let's say, making money, why didn't you get an e-commerce, you said?
It's just,
what do you mean?
it's just like, I just hate that stuff. Like I love trading because it's just player versus player. Like I'm just going on. With e-commerce, you have to go on and, oh, let me check my stats for today and manage this employee. And then you have to deal with these overseas, China, AliExpress. That I just want to just buy like Pepe coin and just, no, I don't like e-commerce. I just don't like managing employees. The less headache, the better. I like just doing things myself. I don't like e-commerce. And there's better things to make money. Like e-commerce is great and all, but I think you can make more money in other ways, easier as well. And it's really hard to make it in e-commerce. A lot of these guys that make their money in e-commerce are selling something in e-commerce, or they're doing it like the scammy way.
Or mentorship or course. Change the topic. You've lived in LA. You've obviously been a lot in Miami. You've probably kind of stayed there for a long periods of time. And now you've been in Dubai for a bit, you know, swinging in and out. You've been some other places as well, yeah? You've stayed in some other places.
I'm going to Zimbabwe next week.
Zimbabwe, I think Bali as well, or
I haven't been to Bali yet. I want to go to Bali, but I haven't been able to get over to Asia because I hate flying. That's one thing. Like I'm a little bit of a when it comes to flying. I hate it. Like I'm like sitting on the plane. I'm like, this, I hate it. And I hate flying like I like taking quick flights. So like I like flying private. So I'll try to fly. If it's like a 2-3 hour flight, it's not like anything crazy, but you can't really fly private international unless you want to like spend like $250K and like not down for that.
Yeah. So in terms of living then, where would you see yourself like living? Because you've tried a lot of people think, and it's actually good when you're starting out to like move out of your home environment sometimes to broaden your mind a bit, you know. Also, when you're in a new environment, you can build it's easier to build new habits and new thought patterns, etc., etc. Where would you see yourself living, or where do you think people should go to? Because you've been LA. Like, these are the places like people think they should move to. You know, LA, Miami.
Yeah, everyone talks about LA and America.
You did
Miami.
that. You did that move. You know.
Yeah, but I was an American citizen, so I didn't know any better. I've never even been to other places.
No, yeah, so I've seen someone with experience. No.
So yeah, I mean, I don't like America. I like, yeah, cool, we have guns. Like everyone's like, oh, yeehaw, like free, land of the free. Like it's cool, we have guns. Except you'd be surprised, LA is super strict with that stuff. I actually almost got arrested once in LA. It's like the funniest story. I'm thinking about it now. I could talk about it. So
what happened?
This is the funniest story. All right, I'll talk about it. Okay, so I wake up one morning in LA, and my roommate is dressed in like a velvet suit. He had some wedding or something, and he's like, so a week before that, he's like, bro, look at this. I'm like, what? He's like, this is an automatic BB gun. It looks sick. It's like automatic. We can go shoot cans with it. I'm like, bro, are you like 6 years old? He's like, no, I'm getting it. So I'm like, whatever. It's like $500 BB gun. It looks super real. It has like no orange tip. Looks super real. Oh. So he's in a velvet suit, and he's like, bro, the gun's sitting on the counter. He's like, take a picture of me on the balcony. I look like James Bond. And he's like, just take a few flicks. And I'm like, I just didn't think anything of him. I'm like, sure, let me just take some pics of him. So the pic was something like him, like with a gun like this, and then like one of like him like aiming it over the balcony. Like for some reason I didn't register in my head. And he was like, oh, that's so beast, put it on your story. So I put on my story, like the caption was patrolling the streets with like a little like this emoji. And we live across from a high school, like Beverly Hills High. God. So we didn't know. So we live across from Beverly Hills High. And I guess I put that on my story, and someone in the school was following me, and I guess they reported it. So next thing we know, we're chilling at the apartment. I had like a blood test appointment, so I'm like getting ready to go there, and we just see a helicopter like flying over the school. I started getting DMs. I started getting DMs and calls, and everyone's like, "Bro, they're talking about you at the school. Like someone said like Mayo like is shooting up the school or something." And I'm just like, "What do you mean?" I see like a helicopter. I see the students looking out like from like the window in their rooms, like freaking out. Like they think there's like a full-on lockdown like thing going on. And my friend is like driving around, so I guess they like shut off the entire street and everything, and they're like looking for like my face and his face, and I guess like they had a roadblock, and they pulled him over. Luckily they pulled him over. They would have burst down my door. They pulled him over, and they're like, wait, you're the guy that, what's going on? Like, are you like, they arrest him, put him on the side of the road with his friends, and they're like,
what nationality was he, out of curiosity?
He Persian.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So they're just like, what the hell is going on? And like my building is like, what the heck's going on? So like he's like texting me. He's like, bro, they have me on the side of the road. He's like, you should leave the building like ASAP, like just in case. Cause I had a blood test appointment. So I'm like, all right, see ya. So I leave the building. I go get my blood test done, whatever. And like, then he just sends me like a video of like the cops like breaking into our apartment and like going through, and like, goodness. I guess like the gun was just on the counter, and they like come in like guns drawn. We're like looking on security footage later. Funniest thing ever. It ended up working out, but our building was so mad. They like sat us down, and they were like, they almost kicked us out. Like we shut down the whole entire city of Beverly Hills. Yeah. So anyways, guns in America, be careful in LA. Don't take pictures of BB guns on the internet. As I was saying, Dubai is the best place. I was just in Marbella as well. Dubai is beautiful. Ooh, I love it here. Great hospitality, great people. The difference between Dubai and somewhere like LA, Dubai is literally LA, just no crime. The people aren't as shitty. There's more things to do, and everyone is just better. The only thing I don't like about, there's two things I don't like about Dubai. It's the speeding, because I just want to like weave, you know. I just want to do my thing. And then I also don't like the woman in Dubai. It's hard to find a wifey here in Dubai. It's just all like Eastern European prostitutes.
Yeah, there are a lot of prostitutes in Dubai.
Everyone always says they're like, you don't meet a girl in Dubai. You fly girls out to Dubai because you just fine.
Yeah. Or unless you're very religious like me, and then you can do like an arranged marriage. And you know, as I was telling you about like my mom, you know, on the women's side of the mosque, you'll never see those girls anywhere else besides the mosque. Yeah,
exactly. Like I don't like prostitutes. I want like civilian, like a nice civilian UAE girl, but they're like not out. Like where do you find those wifey girls at?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Mosque, bro, probably. Honestly, the places they go are like women only.
Instead of the club, we'll go to the mosque.
Yeah, Dubai, there's definitely a big issue with that in Dubai. I guess it's kind of like one of those places where people would come in and they just want to like make as much money as they can and like go back home or like send money back home. But yeah, the speeding, I guess it kind of what makes Dubai a bit safe, you know. Some of the rules, and sometimes I see that people love the safetyness of Dubai, but they don't like the strict rules. But it's like the strict rules give the safety.
Yeah, but I wish they could just have like a little pass for like someone like me that is a professional race car driver, self-proclaimed, and be like, okay, you're allowed to speed, because it's super simple at driving. Like if there's something in front of you, you stop. If there's something not in front of you, you go.
You have to pay the radars.
I know. Like it's super simple. If there's a wall in front of you, just slow down. If there isn't, you just like, I'm self-proclaimed professional race car driver.
You use Waze?
No, I don't use maps.
No, because if you use Waze, it shows you like where the radars are.
I always get lost because I'm like, I hate maps. Like I just don't use them. I got lost here. I said like the building. I tell the Uber driver if I'm driving, I'm just like trying to find it. It's like a little game sometimes.
Dubai directions are a bit hard as well because sometimes like you see the place where you want to go, but you don't know how to get there.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're like, I want to get there, but like you don't know where's the road.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, but the highways are very beautiful. Like you go inside, like skyscrapers. A lot of people say the problem they don't like about Dubai is the lack of like nature. Apparently, that's here because obviously the desert.
Yeah, well, that's why that's why you leave and go to like Costa Rica or something. Somewhere with like nature, but
LA has very good weather. That's one good thing about
that. That is one thing. It's like year round.
That's probably the main thing. That's the main selling point. The weather.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other pluses of LA. I would say weather. And it's kind of cool to drive around there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. No doubt.
There's nice things everywhere in the world, but if you're going to move somewhere, definitely move to a big city, expand your horizons. If you don't have money, figure out how to get that money and just use your last dollar to come to one of these places. You'll meet someone that will make it all worth it. Because there's a difference between investing and spending their money. Very rarely do I spend money. Everyone's like, you spent $7,000 on a lighter. You're investing. Or you spent $10,000 at the club. That is technically an investment. You're going to the club and you're probably being next to other successful people with other businesses. Like I literally have a story. I met some guy and we made money together. I met him at the club because I spent X amount of money. So there's
club
investments.
Is rare though, I think.
Yeah.
Club is a bit rare to meet good people.
Or just I'm not saying like go to the club and try to find your business partner, but like even just the networking events are good. Most of them are shit, but just spending money, just spend money to be in a nice hotel. You take the rich people energy. Like I'm like all mindset. So I'll like trans myself into believing that like the sun can give me energy or rich people can give me energy. Like I'll be sitting at the hotel just like soaking in like all the like UAE vibes of like all the wealthy people in the UAE. Like you can do that. Like you'll feel so much better just being in that environment. Or a lot of people are like, it's too expensive to pay $5 or $10K a month on rent. Pay for a super nice place and you'll be able to focus that much better. Pay for a place with amenities, all that stuff. So you're not spending money in that. Maybe you're spending money if I don't know, I can't even think of something that would actually be spending money, like a complete waste. Everything has to have an ROI. Yeah. So anything I spend, it's usually an ROI.
I guess the thing is that comes to most people when it comes to spending is like, yeah, okay, you could spend on a nice apartment and definitely it helps you in some ways. You know, the people you meet, your neighbors and stuff. But I guess the question would be the opportunity cost of, let's say, not putting that money in your business, you know? Putting the money that you pay instead of rent, you put it inside.
So you just make more.
Yeah.
So I tell people, they're like, well, it's too expensive. I'm like, just make more. But I agree with that. I don't ever, if you have the choice, never pay for something in full. People are stupid when they say, I bought all cash. Cash is king. Cash is king. That's the point. That's why never pay for anything in full. Like I bought my Lamborghini in crypto. I bought it in Bitcoin. And I could have bought it in full, but I put a down payment on it with crypto. Crypto was at 30K, it then went to 60K. So that 200K extra that I could have spent on just buying it in full doubled, and I basically got my Lamborghini for free. Yeah. Or even it's so interesting with the crypto.com cards. I got this crypto.com card, and you would get 5% of every purchase. And like at the time, I would have never known, but it was 5% back in crypto.com coin. And crypto.com coin went up like 15x.
Crazy.
So everything that I spent was free between a 6-month period.
Wow.
And like, I'm glad I just did whatever I wanted because I got everything for free essentially because I was getting 5% cash back, but times 15, like I was basically getting it for free. I was like 80% cash back. Damn. So yeah, there's a difference between spending and investing. And I think the most important thing is your reputation and your environment. So just get those two things down packed. I don't trust people that don't spend money. They're usually worms or there's something off with them. Like how are you gonna, or they're just broke. Like it's one of the three. So spend your money. If you like something, spend it. I'm not saying go out and like, but really like what is money? Just if it's sitting in your bank, what's the point? Like just buy a watch and then the money's sitting in the watch and now you can enjoy a nice watch. Or what's the point of saving your money in what else can you really spend money on after you have like a couple $1 million? A car, nice dinners, watch it. What's the point of having the money in the bank? Just spend it. Like I said, like you only live once. Who knows? What if you get hacked tomorrow and you lose all your money? You're gonna be glad like you didn't like sit there and penny pinch and be like a, you know, just live your life, spend your money, and if you run out of money, just make more. That's the super simple point, because it's not impossible.
Very possible.
Yeah. So let's just say you like spend all your money and you run out. Just sit down for a week or two, and as long as your basic expenses are covered. I don't believe in 6-month expenses. Like have like 1 month. Everything else you make after that, spend that shit. Like, that's what I tell people.
Yeah. All right. I know that you are making and have made a good amount of money from ENS. You know, the .eth kind of domain names, you can say, or addresses. So
yeah,
talk us through that as like a side hustle. It's not been talked about that much, and you're like probably one of the biggest people in it.
Yeah,
I found it very interesting when you.
No one talks about it, and a lot of people don't. Let's just say you don't understand crypto.
Yeah.
If I want to send you $10 million right now, you send me an address, and it's a long stream, 0x50 whatever x. ENS allows you to attach a name to that wallet. Gavin.eth. Send $10 million. Type in Gavin.eth. Now I don't have to copy all the numbers, whatever it is. Beautiful. So that's the use case.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily care about the use case. I care that history repeats itself. In the 1990s, all the people were laughing at all these internet names and all this stuff. Google.com, Amazon.com. Everyone was registering Gavin.com. People didn't think anything about it then. Amazon.com would sell for billions nowadays. So if cryptocurrency is the future, if anybody watching this can agree that it is the future, then you should be all in on ENS. Because if Amazon wants to payment process with crypto, they're probably going to use .eth. The only detriment in all of this is just if ETH went away completely. I don't see that happening. It could happen, but I've already made my money from it. So you can go on and you can register these names. Like
you have a lot of them as well, yeah?
Yeah, so I went on and I didn't get to register the holy grails like Gavin.eth, Amazon.eth. Obviously, like those were taken 3 years ago. It's been around for like 3-4 years. There's only just recently been a secondary market, but what no one was thinking of doing is registering Arabic names,
different languages,
Hebrew names, Chinese names.
Damn.
So I have everything in every language, and no one's going to get a hold of it. And I'm just going to set the floor to whatever I want. So like people are going to want Muhammad.eth in Arabic. They're not going to want English. They're going to want Rolex.eth in Arabic. They're going to want some name of a hotel in Arabic, but also English as well. But I also own a lot of English names as well. So I've been buying some holy grails.
Can I say one of the ones you told me you had?
Sure.
Epic.
Yeah. So I just bought Epic.eth, and the reason I bought Epic.eth was because Epic Games is entering Web3. I won't say how much I bought it for, but almost 6 figures. But I plan to flip it for over $1 million. And I've talked to them a bit, but we'll see. So like that's an example. You just find some company. Amazon.eth got an offer for $1 million. Patriots.eth sold for 75 ETH. People are buying these names because just in case crypto takes over in the future, which it probably will, and ENS and Ethereum is the main winner, these .eth names are going to be worth millions.
So how does someone get one right now if he wants to get one? Should he go on secondary?
A lot of people have to go on OpenSea and put an offer, or you have to. What I do is I go on Twitter and I talk to people in DMs and try to get like deals, and I try to find these kids that need liquid cash.
That have nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, let me get that bundle.
Okay, cool. That's a good tip if you're watching this. Maybe try seeing how you get that. Can you register them still or no?
You can, but all the good names are taken.
Where do you go to register them? On their website?
Yeah. You just go on ens.vision, and I mean, in the summer I was registering 100, 200 names a day. And it's only $20-$30 to register. I would just set the GUI to 18, let it fill overnight, register all these names, do like 3-year registration.
Yeah.
And I basically robbed some kid last week. He sold me some good names, but he just needed liquid cash. I got like some first names, so sick. So let's say I'm wrong, whatever. Like I already have offers for some of these names for 10x of what I even registered for. So
you made a lot of money from these names, huh? It's funny.
Not yet, actually. I very rarely sell them. I very rarely sell them.
Okay.
So technically, like they're all just chilling there.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sell them because I know it's a bear market right now in ENS.
But I mean, offers wise, you've already like seen like big money offers.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like an ENS whale.
Yeah. It's very interesting. No one's talking about it.
No, I hope people don't really talk about it until it's too late.
Yeah. No, but now maybe you'll get some offers for yours. Yeah. All right. A lot of people now, younger males, they spend all their time chasing women. And I know that you have some interesting thoughts about that. What do you think about those younger people? What's your advice to them? What do you say to them?
So there's no problem with doing that. There's no light without dark. There's no risk without reward. You kind of need to go through a degeneracy phase, and then you can talk about these things and like if girls are worth it or not, whatever it is. But I know, like, you've always seen, what's his name, Mike Tyson. He was talking about not having sex before a fight. He's not saying that because he thinks sex is bad. He's saying that because girls make you stay up late. They take you off your path. You're trying to focus, and that's the issue with girls. So a lot of these guys, well, number one, a lot of guys just can't get women in general. So I think it's an important thing, and honestly will just teach you a lot about sales. I remember seeing something online too, is like you should never hire a sales closer unless he has a hot girlfriend, because like that means he's a good salesman, you know, like
that's hilarious.
That's it. If you're looking for a sales guy, if he doesn't have a hot girlfriend, he has his ugly 4 Ukrainian chick, you need to fire his ass. So that's super important. But with girls, it comes to numbers games. So the number one thing, if you want to find a good girl, because it's super hard and girls are just idiots nowadays, we're living in a new world. The best thing you can do, I'll tell you guaranteed how to find your next wife, is you need to be with like 100 chicks. That's kind of the harsh reality. Maybe you'll get lucky, but if you want like a mathematical formula, just be with 100 chicks. 1 or 2 will be, number 1, attractive. Number 2, support your life, not be annoying, not to try to, take you off your path, understand things, and a few other things you look for in girls. But yeah, it's just a numbers game at the end of the day. I got pretty lucky with mine. I was in the degeneracy phase in the summer, doing all like all these red pill guys. I had like 7 girlfriends and like doing like managing this over here and like talking to this girl and DM, but like I just stopped with pretty much all of that. I have like one nice girl now. That's all you really need, something to support you. And you got to think of girls like stages in your life. So I remember thinking back to high school, and I was like, just heartbroken about like one girl, and I think back, it's just funny now. Like, she was one stage of the life. Then a girl in college, like these ugly 4s in college, where I thought they were the hottest girl in college. Now, if I was to be seen with her, I'd be like embarrassed. But it was the hottest girl in my college. But
college is like a bubble, honestly.
Yeah,
you think the popular kids are the coolest kids, and you realize like when you come out that nobody cares about them.
Yeah, you think the hottest girl in college is hot, and then you go to Dubai and LA, and you're like, that girl's a sand poodle. So then that's one stage of my life. And then when I first came to LA, I thought this girl was a good girl, but I never really dated anyone before. So like, I thought she was pretty, I thought she was a good girl, and then I realized she's a total idiot. And like, they're just stages of life. You just have to keep going forward. Maybe you'll finally get the last stage, and you'll find a good girl that supports you and actually helps you, and you can get your girl to work and do some things and stuff like that.
You say that you need to go through degeneracy. Are you saying that people should lean into degeneracy, and do you not think that some people might get stuck in it? Because I've definitely seen some people that still have not left. You know what I mean? I'm
not encouraging anyone to get into degeneracy, but I mean like partying, going to the club and stuff, but it will make your work a lot easier. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything anymore because I've done everything. So I've went through that degenerate phase. If I never did that, would I be like feeling like I left out a little bit? Maybe. So I'm not saying do it, but it's also a lot easier if you're in your life and you had like your college party phase. And so but the one thing I always tell people is definitely stay away from any type of drugs or any type of degeneracy like that, or any of that stuff. Haram, not good. You don't need drugs that's why people are depressed, probably because of drugs. Yeah.
You mentioned haram. What do you think about God, and what religion are you in? Lastly, I want to ask you about death as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, my girlfriend's actually Muslim. She wants me to convert someday, and possibly, maybe just if it seemed right, I maybe would. I have friends that converted. I think obviously God as an idea, it's real, so he technically exists. If we just take it down to like a scientific level, the idea of God exists, and it has power and sway over our world. People don't do certain things because of God, so he obviously exists, or he does disrupt in real time. He does influence the world. Exactly. So as far as that goes, but yeah, I think faith is super important, and believing in something or having some type of religion. Right. I think it's all a circle at the end of the day. Like, there are some religions that don't like other religions or whatever it is, but it's all a circle at the end of the day. And I try to have an internal voice, but I also try to think about a higher power. I'm not like one of those spiritual people that are always like hippie talk and all that type of stuff, but I think faith is important. Yeah. And yeah, that faith, money, woman, health, you'll be just fine in life if you have all that completely figured out. But I'm still young too. Like, I can change my mind. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with faith.
Nice. What about death? Do you feel like when you die, you're going to go somewhere? And
well, the thing is, I've never died.
Are you afraid of death?
I've never died. So it might not even be real. Like, I think it's like a myth. That's the scam. It might. So like, I've never died, but in all seriousness, I don't know. And the fact that I don't know is even more of a reason to just live your life, because you don't know. You don't know. You don't know what happens. No one can prove, and no one ever can prove. But
we can say for sure that people like have died, like they don't exist anymore. You know, they're in the grave.
Yeah, like I said, we were talking earlier. Like Kobe Bryant did so many great things, and people just aren't talking about him anymore. So people will forget about you years to come. Just do your thing. Also, I think we're getting to that stage of the world where people might not die. We might get there in technology that I already think we've been there. I think there's people that have been alive for hundreds of years at the top level.
But I've seen some very top level people die, you know, like rulers and stuff. Very top level.
Do you think they're top level?
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, for example, like royal family of, I don't want to say countries, but like, you know, countries that people know are like one of the richest.
Maybe they're dead. Maybe they're, you don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying.
You don't know for sure that they are dead.
Let's just say it's already started. Then yeah, it definitely exists out there. And my goal is to get to that point where I can be like, yo, give me that serum. Let me live forever. But I don't even know if you want to live forever.
I don't think so.
It wouldn't make life meaningful.
Yeah.
The fact that you know that you're going to die is the beautiful thing of life. Memento mori. If I was ever to get like a tattoo, I'd get something like that. That's
remember death.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. On that note, Gavin, it was great having you, brother.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
My guy. It was a pleasure, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out Gavin. All his social medias will be
Earn Mayo on Twitter, Mayo on Instagram, and I got some like other random things. Just DM me on Instagram.
Check the description. It'll be in the description.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Have a good one.